In this recording, I'd like to show you how to add a chart to a form, or for that matter, I'm sure you could add them to a report as well, though I haven't tried that. I'm going to add them to a form. This is included in Unit 6 because I believe the authors of the text consider this integration with the Microsoft charting tool, which is its own little separate program. We'll see it. Most people don't use the charting program by itself. It's embedded in Excel. The same program is used here in Access. And so we're going to create a chart. In order to have something handy and convenient to chart, though, I'm going to create a new query that counts how many of each size of pizza each customer has ordered. So I'm going to create a query, and I'm going to need my orders table. And I want to, for each customer, I want to know how many of each size they have ordered. So I'm going to count the number of order IDs that are large for customer Volker Gall, that are medium for customer Volker Gall. So let's take a look at how that works. When I do counts, normally count the primary key. I'm going to bring in my totals. This is from beginning Access where you did the aggregate queries. I'm grouping by customer, then by size, and I'm counting the number of order IDs. Save this as query size by customer. I have that query already. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to call this one 2. I hope I remember that. So let's just go customer sizes and see how that works. Must use that name in one of the form examples or the report examples. Okay, so now I have a query customer sizes. Okay, sounds like I'm measuring my customers, but that's not really what I'm doing there. And now I can collapse these using the chevrons to get them out of the way. And now what I want to do is add a chart to my customer form, orders, customers, and orders. Here's what the form looks like. As we navigate through here, get lots of customers with orders. I want to add a chart probably over here because I have some room that shows how many in a chart format, how many of each size the customer has ordered. And as we get more and more data, that chart would probably be a little handier. So how do I insert a chart here? I can do it either in layout view or in design view. I'm going to go into design view and close my properties sheet, and I'm going to stretch my form to make it wider. I don't plan on printing this, so that shouldn't cause any trouble. And now I'm going to insert a chart. Go to the insert from the design tab, a chart. Get a little marker. Where do you want to put this chart? Park it out here. I'll take the default size to start with. What is the chart going to be based on? My query. Query customer sizes. Next. Now, what do I want to graph? I want to take the size, and you need to list the series, what it is you're measuring, large, medium, small, personal, first, and then the values that you want to base your statistics on. My count. Now I could have renamed that, probably should have renamed it in the query so that it looked a little bit better, but it's a little late now for this recording. I'm not going to worry about it. And notice I'm not bringing the customer in. I still need it, right? But I'm not bringing the customer into my chart because the customer is on this page. I build my chart. Next thing it wants to know is what kind of a chart do you want? I think I'll go with a 3D bar graph. Next. Thinking. Hopefully not too long. All right, and it's figured out that I have the sizes over here and the counts over here. This is just a preview. Everything looks okay. And then it's linked. This is why I needed the customer field. And I don't think it necessarily needed to be in the query. Yeah, it did need to be in the query, but it didn't need to be part of my chart. It's linking the customer ID from my form with the customer in the query so that it knows which ones to count. What label do you want for your, or this is the title for the chart. All right. What do I want for the title? Size, quantity. And I don't want a legend. A lot of this, the title, the legend, those kind of things can be customized after the fact, just like charts in Excel. You can customize the charts so you don't have to get it quite right in all the wizards, but it does make a difference. Click on Finish, puts my stuff in here. What's with the northwest east? It's just doing the best it can. okay, with the data that we have. I think I'm going to make that just a smidge. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's just go with it here and see what happens. I'm going to take a look at it in form view. And here's my first customer, and he's ordered only one large. And my best example here is customer number 5, who has ordered 2 smalls, a large, and 1 child pizza. Now, to me, this is a little misleading because when Access built this chart, or when the Chart Wizard built this chart, it's including half-inch steps here, and nobody orders half a pizza. All right, so that's a bit of an issue. That's one thing I want to change. And just to demonstrate, I'm also going to make these bars a little more, just add a little more flavor to them by putting gradients in there. Okay, so let's start with that. To modify this, you go back to Design View, and you right-click the edge of the chart, go to Chart Object in the pop-up, and I recommend Open, though you can do Edit and kind of edit it here in place. Open opens the charting program, Microsoft Graph program, and now you can manipulate things here. Do manipulations pretty much the same way you did them in Excel. If you've done Excel charting, you know that you can click on stuff to change it. So if I want to change the color of these, I can click on it, and notice I've got them all. If I want to change the color of just one, I can do that. Okay, but I want to change them all, so I'm going to click on the background and then back on the bars again. I want to change the color of those. You can try to figure out some of these buttons here, but I think what's easiest is to right-click and format whatever you have selected. Dialog box pops up, and now I can do, let's say I want them to be kind of orangey, but I want to show you the fill effects. We have gradients available, and that can add some coolness to this. I'm going to do a 2-color gradient, and purple to orange sounds good, but I'm going to have vertical bars that go this way, and I want it to start with purple and work its way to orange. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. Okay, so those are gradients. You can also do white as this back color, and then the line gets smaller, or the color gets lighter and lighter as it gets to the end. It can sometimes be hard to read. The other thing I don't like is the statistics on these numbers down here, the half axis units here. So I'm going to click on that, and once again right-click it and format the axis. The scale is the problem here, and again, sometimes you have to look around to figure out which one of these things you need to change, but the scale is the problem. Notice the major unit is set to 1. It's checked, meaning it's automatic, but if you change this manually, or set to a half, excuse me, but if you change this manually to 1, it automatically takes the check marks out. I'm not displaying any minor units, so I don't have to mess with that. If I wanted to, I could set the maximum, but right now they're set to automatic. So the more people order, the chart will automatically grow, the scale will automatically grow to handle it. But I don't want that half, so I got rid of that, and now it looks like this, and that's already much better. Once you're done, the book suggests you do a file, exit, and return. You just close this, that's what's going to happen. Okay, here's a preview now, looks pretty good, but let's look at it live. Not bad. Okay, and go to customer number 5, who's got lots of orders, and that's what the chart looks like now, and that's pretty decent. In Unit 4, there's also a recording that talks about how you can add tabs to things. My page here, my form, is getting a little bit cluttered. So maybe the solution to that is to add tabs to this and put the orders in a tab and put the chart in another tab. So let's do that here real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I'm going to go back to Design View first, and I'm going to cut my subform because I need to make some room here because I need to put the tabs in first and then put the subform inside it. So I'm going to cut that to the clipboard. Microsoft Windows is holding that for me right now. And then I'm going to add a tab control, and again that's Unit 4.6. The recording for that, if you didn't listen to it, you can go back and get it. Here's my tab control. I'm going to put it right here. If I need to, I can align it again later, but I think it'll be all right. And I'm covering some stuff up. Selecting the tab control is sometimes an issue. Okay, and I'm going to make it just a smidge wider. And actually, I think it'll reset itself automatically. Now, before I forget, I'm going to click on page 23 here, and the numbers don't mean anything. I've been practicing on these things, and that's kind of where the numbers are coming from. I think the numbers also come from how many objects you have used on your form. I'm going to click on page 23. That selects the entire tab, and I'm going to paste. And now my subform has been pasted in there in just the right size. I'm going to go to page, and then I'm going to cut my chart. Go to page 24 and paste that in there. And since I have a little more room for my subform, I'll stretch the chart, make it a little bit bigger as well, and that'll make it a little easier to read. That's an optional thing. You don't have to make it stretch. Finally, to make this professional, I need to change the tabs on here. And so I'll change the tab label on this one. Let's go to the property sheet. Got to click the tab. And now it's selected. This caption is what we're talking about. That's what changes page 23. And I want to caption this orders. And for this one, I'm going to set the caption to sizes. Let's go preview that and get rid of our property sheet. Preview that. And now if I want to see the sizes chart, and I could have made this sizes chart. Okay, I can see that, but once again, let's go to customer number 5. And notice I see charts right away. And switch back and forth and see everything that I need to see. And I can even change things here. There's only one order. Let's find somebody else who's got a few more orders. Bill's ordered lots of pizza. And now when I go to the sizes, I get 2s and 1s and you can see what's going on. So adding charts is relatively simple. Customizing them to make them look the way you want can be a bit of a challenge. If you need some further advice on how to customize those charts, the easy answer is right-click, go to the chart or the Microsoft Graph. Right-click on the thing that you want to change and change it. If you need more instruction, you can go to the Excel playlists on YouTube. I have some there on charting. I believe it's Unit 4 or 3, pardon me. Unit 3 on charting. You can look some of those over and get some ideas as well.